super excited about a new project for one of our friends that we've known for quite some time. Rory Feek is now an author, a children's book. It is the most precious book, The Day God Made You. Rory, this is so cute. Obviously inspired by Indiana. How is she, by the way?
She's really, really well. She goes to school here on our farm about 100 yards from here at her little schoolhouse. So she's doing wonderful. She's 6 years old now. Today is, well, I don't know what today is, but on Friday is kindergarten graduation. So it's exciting here.
Oh my goodness. All the milestones, it's all coming in. When did you decide that you were going to write a book?
Well, I've written a few books. I wrote a couple of memoirs over the last few years, and then I wrote a children's book a couple of years ago, but this book has been in the works for about a year and a half. And it really came from just Indiana. She has really pretty almond eyes, a little different than my other daughter's eyes. And so it kind of came from there, where I was thinking about just the shape of her eyes, the color of your hair, the way that you laugh, and the size shoes you wear. The tears you cry, the prayers you pray to. God knew all these things the day he made you. And that's where the book just came from, is thinking about her, how he made her special, like he makes all of us. But her in particular, it was a little easier for me to see, he made her extra special. And then that just reminded me, we all kind of are.
You obviously are just loving every moment that you get to spend with your little one. And the fact that she's going to school yards away from where you're working right now on the farm is just idyllic, really. Let's talk about just how you navigate through the waters that you've been through. I mean, watching, the way that you've handled everything and come out on the other side of course, missing Joey and what she went through. Now, tell us what you've learned from those experiences and what you hope to share with other people who are walking through something similar.
Well, Joey and I have always shared our lives as it was happening. It was just early on in our music careers. We decided to have no separation between the life we were living on stage or in our career and the life we were living at home. And so it started making where all those lines were blurred, which is fairly unusual, or at least it was. And so it's still the same. It's really not any different. My work is my home is my work. The only difference is that for a lot of my life, and even when Joey and I first started singing, I wanted to write great stories as a songwriter. That's what I wanted to do. And then Joey and I together, we wanted to sing great stories. But then, God just gave us a great story that we were living. And even though there are parts of it that were not what we wanted it to be and more tragic, it was still an amazing story, and it still is. And so I think that's probably the biggest takeaway for me, is that the good and the bad and the times that you walk around pinching yourself because you're so fortunate, you still have to remember to pinch yourself even in these times that are incredibly confusing. And I do, I think that's a lot of Indiana. She's like, I call her Little Joe sometimes, because she's so pretty and she's got such a big smile and love and everything. She makes life make sense a lot easier. I'd probably have a lot harder time if I was all by myself.
I can understand that. You're also doing a television show, This Life I Live. Um, how much of that are you okay with putting out there? Because as you just said, this was the way that you guys both operated from the very beginning, was we're going to let people know who we are, and this is who we are in front of and behind the camera. But is there a portion of your life that you want to just keep for you, that you want to just keep for you and Indiana and the girls? And, is there some of it that's not on public display?
Well, I don't really see it as public display, because the way that I do it, I don't do it as a way to like grow an audience. I do it as a way to capture life and make sense of it. And so we've always done that. and those lines that were blurred back then are still pretty blurred. But I don't know that there are specific things that I try and keep from there, mostly because I want to remember them all. Or if I can't remember them, down the road, my children will remember them because we've captured them through the years.
So good. So very good. Listen, we love you. We love your heart. And we're so happy that you're sharing that story with us. We've all fallen in love with your little girl. She has so many fans. And we just can't wait to see what becomes of her life and her life story. And so thankful that you're sharing this book with us as well. Rory, it's good to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you for taking time to talk with me and to share our book.
Absolutely.